Gosh dang it, it is a beautiful day out here. This is going to be a very fun adventure. Sunday morning, beginning of April, 37 degrees. Let's see if we can catch some largemouth bass today. High hopes. I think we can get at least 3. That's the goal. Probably gonna be throwing chatterbaits, lipless crankbaits, and go from there to start with. Anything else would be a bonus, or a last resort, I should say. But I think we can do it. So let's get out there and rip some lips. Okay, almost to the lake now, dragging the kayak out here. Kind of decked out in my camo again. It's pretty cold. And the wind's gonna pick up as the day goes on, so I'm hoping I've gotten out here in time just for the fish to hopefully be biting and the winds be pretty low still, but we'll see. Wish me luck. Here we go. And we're off. Let's do a little prep work to get ready. But rods are rigged. I'm excited. We are out here on the water. Looks like we've got like really mild winds right now, 6-7 mile an hour. By the end of the day, it's supposed to be up towards 12. And then probably by the time I leave, it's gonna be in that 10 to 12. So won't be here all day, a couple hours, trying to get comfortable here. I think we can do it pretty easily. I think the fish are gonna be biting. It's gonna be a fun day. Let's start ripping some lips. Just gonna paddle over now, try to find a spot that I think looks good. There's some weeds that are starting to peek up in here every now and then. Yeah, you can see right here. A lot of this right here is, it's kind of a shallow sandbar, a couple feet deep. Weeds are starting to poke up, so if I'm gonna fish that, I might have to throw a weedless swim bait already. I'm hoping that the chatterbait will do me some good today, because a lot of times the chatterbait can be like semi-weedless. Emphasis on semi, however, it does better than the lipless crank with 6 hooks on it. So let's see what happens. Let's start throwing some lines in the water, ripping some lips. Starting with the Z-Man chatterbait. Great bait, got a little smaller size fluke on the back of it. Absolutely amazing bait. It puts off tons and tons of vibrations in the water. And for some reason, this place loves the vibrations. They love that movement. You can throw slow sinking in the heat of the summer, but I mean, doesn't really matter what time of the year. They just love the vibrations. We had some nasty storms go through in the last week, so I think the water level is a little higher. It's still controlled by some kind of floodgate, so it's not super high, but it's a little bit murkier than it has been. The water last week when I was on it, on a different lake, very, very close to here, was 42 degrees. I'm gonna guess this is probably still in that same 40 to 45 degree water. Hard to believe that bass will bite in this, but occasionally you can get them. If you can catch them ice fishing, you can catch them any time of year, but it's tougher. So I've got high hopes. The goal is kind of set for 3 fish today, just because it's a weekend. I've got a little more time. I'm just hoping that we can make it happen and catch some fish. So the nice thing about YouTube fishing is you can compress what's been going on. So I've been fishing for about an hour now. Just had my very first bite. Not 1000% sure it was a bite, but it only came up with a little bit of weeds on it, and it felt like something had bumped it. So if it would have been more of a hard bump, I probably would have said log, but because it came up with weeds, I'm thinking it was a fish there. So I'm gonna say 1 bite for now over the course of about an hour. It's pretty slow. I think the rain and some of those storms really messed up the fishing. I still think there's a great chance to catch fish. We're just really gonna have to work for it today. But that's okay, we've got time. We'll stick it out for another hour or so and see what happens. There's one. Heck yes, finally. About time. Man, I was listening to the geese across the way just honk at me. Going crazy. Finally. I don't know if we're gonna end up getting the 3 that I was really hoping for. However, 1 down. Feels good to catch one. Beautiful fish here. Man, really starting to lose hope there. Just feels good to get one in the boat. Nice ditch pickle, probably about 15, pound and a half, pound 3/4. Nothing too monstrous, but just your typical fish for this lake. Awesome. I'm gonna release him. That one did come on the chatterbait. I have been switching back and forth between the lipless and the chatterbait to see what I could get. the lipless just seems to be attracting too many weeds. So it's pretty unfortunate that's the way it's going to be, but the chatterbait, it does what we need it to do. I just wish that I could get just a touch deeper, because I think these fish might be sticking down just a little bit more than I was thinking they were going to be. These temperatures from the rain and then just the weather dropping back down a little bit. It's nasty out here. Conditions are really tough, and prime time of the year where things are starting to really turn on. However, you know, it's Indiana. Indiana weather can just be a little temperamental, so we're going to keep at it. I think in the next 2 weeks this place will be absolutely stupid good. So it's better to be early than late. Keep coming and keep coming until you figure it out and you really get it dialed. So back to fishing. It feels so nice to get that one. Been here for about an hour and a half, and I'm enjoying the wildlife, enjoying being on the water, but it is a very tough day. I was really hoping to get my 3 that I was kind of thinking about when I first got here, just because the fishing has been picking up, but I kind of forgot about some of that weather until, you know, kind of after setting that goal. So no big deal, got one. We're gonna fish for another half hour, see what happens. I think it's very possible you just find a spot, you can pull 6, 7, 8 out of it. You just never know. We could work this entire lake yet again and maybe get nothing. So thankful to have the one, and thankful that it's not raining or anything on me. There's one, lost him, dang it. Dang it, dang it, dang it. Oh, man, just missed an awesome bite there. Pump slacking and everything. Just a couple feet off that log, so I know it wasn't the log for sure. This section of the lake comes out about 20 feet probably, at a depth of 2 feet probably, and then quickly drops off down to like 8, and so there's a nice ledge here, and a lot of these bass will hang out on that ledge. I think they'll move up shallow to get bait. Well, I know they do most of the year, but it's pretty early right now, so they're probably swimming that ledge a little bit, but just down deeper. So I'm trying to fish out rather than fish the shallow, pull it over the ledge, and then hopefully we'll see it have them coming over.